What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with another video, man. And today, man, I'm going to talk about yesterday's NFC playoff matchup. You had the Minnesota Vikings beating the New Orleans Saints 26-20 on the road to advance to the divisional round of the playoffs. Before I get into this video, man, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on Instagram or send me a friend request on Facebook, I'm gonna have my Instagram and my Facebook information down in the description box. Come give me a follow on the gram. Come send me a request on the book. Come holler at your boy, yo. Woo! What a game, man. What a ending, man. Very, very entertaining football game. A great atmosphere in the dome. Two teams that really wanted it, man, and unfortunately one of them fell short, man. Shout out to the Minnesota Vikings, man. That is not an easy task going down to New Orleans and beating the Saints in the Mercedes-Benz Dome, man. That is a huge accomplishment. And shout out to Kirk Cousins, man. He's somebody who, in the past that I've even, cracked a couple of jokes at for being somebody who, comes up small whenever the moment is big. And he didn't have necessarily a great game in this game, but whenever the money was on the table, he got it done, man. Made like Troy Aikman said on the broadcast, the best throw of his career, on the deep pass to Adam Thielen, man, to get the Vikings down to the 2. And then whenever the Saints was pushing them back a little bit, made a big time throw to Kyle Rudolph for the game winner. There's debate, here and there if it was an offensive pass interference or not. I mean, he gave him a little nudge, man, but at the end of the day, I've seen, receivers get away with much worse, to be honest with you. Man, it was a great play. And in that environment on the road to make that pass at that moment, man. Shout out to Kirk Cousins, man. That was big time, bro. That was championship type of football, man, to get it done on the road against a tough team. Dalvin Cook ran the football very well, man. He looked at healthy out there. And for him, he is the key for this team, man. If Dalvin Cook is out there running the football effectively, the Minnesota Vikings have a chance in every game they play in because Kirk Cousins is a deadly, quarterback throwing off of play action. And obviously it looks like Adam Thielen is healthy now. Had a bad fumble early on in the game. But, when you got Thielen and you got Diggs and you got Rudolph and Dalvin Cook running the football and Kirk Cousins distributing it all over the place, a confident Kirk Cousins. The Vikings have a dangerous offense, man. And also shout out to Mike Zimmer, man. He made one of the best coaching decisions yesterday that I've seen in recent memory. Everybody knows the New Orleans Saints have two really, really good tackles, man, in Teron Armstead and Ryan Ramczyk. And I think Ryan Ramczyk actually made first team All Pro. So the guy is amazing. And he has Everson Griffin and former LSU Tiger Danielle Hunter. And what he did was on obvious passing situations, he put them both at D tackle. Now, their guards, Andrews Pete and Warfield, in the center McCoy, they're decent players, but they're not as effective as Teron Armstead and Ryan Ramczyk. Not to mention, Drew Brees is a guy, he's as great as he is, he's a shorter quarterback. So whenever you come rushing him around the edges, he just steps up in the pocket and delivers an accurate throw because, he's the most accurate quarterback of all time. But by him being shorter and you messing up his viewpoint and you putting pressure on him right up the middle in his face, it's tough on him. And you could see how tough it was for him yesterday. And Danielle Hunter, man, LSU Tiger getting it done, came up with, probably the player of the day whenever, the Saints were driving and he came in and got a big strip sack on Drew Brees that the Vikings recovered, man. I feel like that, even though the game obviously went into overtime and all that, I feel like that kind of cost the Saints the win, man. So shout out to Mike Zimmer, for that little coaching adjustment also. And they played well. They also, bracketed Michael Thomas a lot. Wasn't really effective yesterday because, he's seen a whole lot of coverage. And just a great game plan, a great win, man. It wasn't easy, but the Vikings got it done on the road, man. Shout out to them. And as far as for the New Orleans Saints, man, it's a tough loss for them, man. When you consider 2 years ago, the Minnesota Miracle, I'm gonna call it, tongue twisted there, in against this same team, different quarterback, the same team. Then last year with the absolute, probably the worst non-call in the history of the NFL, of sports, period. And them to fall short, they came into this season with a whole lot of motivation. And they was 13-3. Unfortunately, they had to play wild card weekend because of different tiebreaker scenarios. But nevertheless, they were at home, where I felt like they would have got it done. But the Vikings came in and similar to the Atlanta game, they got after Drew Brees, man. Um, and I know there's people out there that's saying that Drew Brees should retire, he should be done and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think that's the case, though you can see a little bit of a decline, not only in him, but in Tom Brady as well. I mean, Father Time is undefeated. I think more of a problem than actually Drew Brees getting old is that the Saints need a number two wide receiver. Michael Thomas yeah, it's nice that he has so many catches and broke the record, but part of that has to do with Drew ain't really got nobody else to throw to neither, man. So they're gonna need another weapon on opposite of Michael Thomas, and I guess that's why they did their due diligence and took a chance looking into Antonio Brown. But yeah, I think that's what did him in, not having another weapon opposite of Michael Thomas to take some of the pressure off of him and beat one-on-one coverages. Alvin Kamara, something was up with him this season, man. I don't know if he was injured. I don't know if I don't know. I'ma just assume he was injured, man, because the guy is an amazing talent, and he didn't have quite the impact on the Saints this season as he did in his first couple of seasons. Defense, unfortunately, Lattimore went out, and they went right after Patrick Robinson, man. Yeah, that pretty much did him in. Tough loss, man. This team had real Super Bowl aspirations, man. I think out of all the losses this week, I guess Buffalo wasn't hurt because they had such a big lead. New England one, it's tough, but as far as the Eagles, man, once Wentz went out, I knew it was over. But this might be the toughest loss out of all the teams this weekend because this team really, was a real favorite to win the Super Bowl, man. But they gotta figure out the Drew Brees situation. Me personally, they may already have the heir apparent in Taysom Hill. I know he's not a legendary original drop back quarterback, but when you look at guys like Lamar Jackson and all these other guys, you could cater an offense to Taysom Hill's skill set. He has a nice arm, he's big, he's strong, he's super athletic. Hey, like you could probably take a chance on him whenever Drew calls it quits, man. But tough loss for the Saints, man. Great win for the Vikings, and just a very, very entertaining football game, man. That went into overtime, man. You felt like whoever won the coin toss would have went down there and scored and won the game, and the Vikings did it. Fortunately for them, yo. Good win for Minnesota, man. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go on, hit the like button for your boy and give me a subscribe, man. I'm going to have Philadelphia Eagles and NFL content throughout the year. Also, this coming Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to do a live Q&A. Y'all can come on there, ask me anything, tell me anything. I'll answer your questions, respond to your comments, and give you a shout out on the live, yo. Y'all should join me. It's some good stuff. Until then, man, y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly.